Today I'm going to be talking about hands-on experience, versus the qualifications for what you have, right, within this construction industry in 2026. So, some of us have had modern day apprenticeships, which is myself. I've had a lot of hands-on experience. When I tell people at the age of 18, I was taking apart boilers, which are cast iron boilers, and we was changing sections on boilers, which is a specialist job, right? The hands-on experience which I got as an apprenticeship, will overpower most people that have the qualifications in 2026, because you need to have done the job and had some experience dealing with it, instead of having all the qualifications but no idea how to do the fucking job. There are many people who are book smart, got the qualifications, got all of the courses, but are in the same role. Having the hands-on experience and people seeing that you're able to do the job puts you in a way better position in 2026. There are so many people that cannot do certain things because they've limited themselves and streamlined themselves only within education. Education does help, but in 2026, we're always going to have a portion of our trade who are retiring. And those people have got so much experience and never passed it on. So, people who can fit boilers, people who can do jobs like pipe work, we've got an influx of ground source heat pumps, developments going on, but there are people who can't do the pipe work. So we need people who can do the pipe work to be able to get the pipes, to be able to get the ventilation, to be able to fit in ducting, to be able to understand systems to be set up in the right way so they can operate correctly. But we've got a shortage of these people because there's more colleges, more training centres who train people up, but they have no experience. So a young person might see, oh, plumbers can make 50, 100 grand a year. So rightfully so. But you will not be able to make that without no experience. You see, this hands-on experience is priceless. That's why I always tell people who I've taught to be able to find a mentor or find someone that can give you that hands-on experience, because in the classroom, you can only learn so much. And most classrooms are not fitted out like how the everyday life is. I've never seen any workshop which I've been impressed with. I think the best plumbing workshop that I've seen with my own eyes is probably Barking and Dagenham, but they might have the shittest teachers. There's a mix, there's a balance. And what are they doing to get their learners, that's what they're called, experience with hands-on work? Fuck all. They have a development sector which might get you work experience, but that work experience is overwhelmed there because it's one or two people. How can they find 80 students work experience? They can't. You got to find it yourself. And it's like, I've told them so many times, go out and try and get some work experience. Try and fall within to the industry what you're trying to get into. Oh, it's really hard. Go and work in a plumbing shop. Learn the fittings. Understand what tradespeople come in for. And then when you see people coming in, build relationships with them. Talk to them. Ask them, oh, are you looking for any apprentices? Can I give you my number, my CV? That's where you start. But a lot of those people who are plumbers, engineers, gas engineers, it becomes a little bit of a liability to be able to take on a young person who has no experience holding a tool. Perfect example. I had one of my friends. He was working in Canary Wharf in finance. Someone offered him a job to be able to work as a plumber. He called me one day And he said, I've been working with John for such and such amount of time, and I've just put my foot through the ceiling. It's cost him so much money, he's had to kind of get the boot. He's had to get rid of me. But from that experience, my friend, he never went into something like that again. He saw what I'd done and was like, what you're doing is inspiring. I like when you came round. I think we fixed his boiler and we changed his bathroom as well. And I done it with my uncle. And he was just inspired and thought to himself, do you know what? This could be something I wanted to do. My friend is very book smart. There's a whole difference with working with your hands, because that's what we do as tradespeople. That's what we do as qualified plumbers. But having that experience, whether it be from when I was young, taking apart my scale electrics, wanting to know what's inside the back of the scale electrics while my mum shouts at me. These types of things and getting experience with my uncles while working on the job allowed me to be advanced. Understand, you know what? If we're going to take off the radiator, we need to do this, this and this first. And at this stage now, where life experience matters so much, yeah? I mean, I don't know where to start when it comes to our next generation, because a lot of people won't give them a chance. Back in my day, which was like 21 years ago, there was more chances for you to be able to progress. There was more chances for people to be able to take you on the tools and give you 5 weeks, 10 weeks worth of work. If you've done well after that, they might offer you a job. Today, they're not willing to take the risk. Because for one, you might not have your own tools. You might not have someone to be able to get you into the industry. I had strong connections to people to get me into the industry. I have a contracts manager uncle. I have another uncle who is a plumber as well, and also a lecturer. I have another uncle as well who has a steady, big business as a plumbing company. And I also have another contracts manager uncle as well on top of that. So when I explain these things to people, they're like, oh, you've got a construction company. You've got connections into the game. Yeah, of course. Yeah. At that time, it was necessary for me to get the experience. And only now, with the 20 years experience, hands-on, working, being qualified, I mean, things come to me second nature. I've been asked many a times, could I take on apprentices? And the thing about it is that I always say no. I say no because I know that a lot of these people who possibly are qualified, they become liabilities to me. And I can't afford an accident. I can't afford a cock up on a job because I'm working for billionaires. I'm working for people who have way more money than me, and I need that contract. I need that job. I need that job to run smooth, so they tell their friend about our services. And sometimes we just can't afford to have someone in who's got all the qualifications but no idea what to do with these hands. They're just steady looking at you. So I always suggest to people to try and get that experience from somewhere within the trade. And even if you have to work your way around to the point where you need to be, that's your route. But you need to have one in, because not having a route into the industry allows you to be unemployable with qualifications. In 2026, we're seeing that time and time again. I've seen so many people who have the qualifications but no experience. I've got a friend who's been a plumber for 10 years. And yes, he's doing water treatment now. He's in the industry, but it's not where he wants to be. If someone asks him to fit a boiler, if someone asks him to fit a bathroom, the competency is not there. The competency is not there when he's asked to go out to a job and find a leak. Because even though he's got the qualifications and he works for a company what does water treatment and stuff like that, he's not sure where the incoming mains is. He's not sure what route they would take to be able to install that. And these are the things what you learn from the ground up. That's like your foundation. But this is where we're at in 2026. I know it's very hard for people to get into this industry because of their experience. Because people like to see a bit of experience on your CV and it doesn't show that. And it would make you a liar to say that you have got that. So I always suggest to people, find your route in. It isn't going to be the same as me. I tell people my story to encourage them, not to discourage them. But I also tell them to also find a mentor as well, because I feel that that's really important. Many times when I've come to sit down and speak to people who have been in the industry for a while, I try and analyze their situation and look at it from an employer's point of view. Because to make yourself more employable, you have to have the experience, not just the qualifications. Qualifications are just papers. They do matter in this world within getting into the industry, but the experience outweighs that. I can go to a site as a plumber who's mechanically biased because plumbing is my first trade, and I can change a belt on an air handling unit, on an AHU. I know where the fan is, what the chambers are. You ask someone else that, they'll be like, oh, I'm a plumber, but I don't know what that is. Heating, ventilation. These are things which you learn, but if you don't physically see it and work on it, you just never know what someone's talking about. I have no clue. And when you go to a workplace and you say you have no clue, you're useless to them. Doesn't make sense. They would rather employ someone who has been in there for a while, but is like the water treatment person within that building, who has a good understanding. Because they've done it before, they've watched someone else. And this is what we're coming to in 2026, because I don't know if people have ever searched how many qualified tradespeople they need within a certain amount of years. So let's say like this year they needed 70,000 plumbers. That's cool, we got 60. But only 10,000 of them have had any type of experience working on the tools. The rest of them are qualified by paper. So you're all trying to jump in and get this experience at the same time. It just makes the market saturated. I want to know what you think, because I talk from a place of me, you know, and even though I class myself as someone who has a good understanding, sometimes you don't get everything right, but I'm sure I'm quite right on this one. So if you stayed this far, just want you to like, share and subscribe to the channel, because my name is Mr. London Plumber. I give my honest opinion when it comes to questions like this, because someone asked me this as well. So I thought, great way for me to make a video and explore the possibilities and the reasons why. And it's up to you guys to comment below to tell me if you agree or if you disagree. You know, we're not going to agree on everything, but we're going to subscribe on this channel. It's Mr. London Plumber. Make sure you like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.